What's up, Speed Theory Performance, bringing you another DIY. This is the Burger Motorsports automatic transmission cooler. Here we have the braided lines, the mount, and the actual cooler itself. So if we take a look at the cooler, kind of was a little bit chipped. Some of the fins were dented upon shipping, but for the most part, it's pretty good quality. You can see the bent fins here. So we have the brake duct cooler removed, the inner wheel well, the wheel, and the AC fan removed. That is our starting point for this installation. All right, here's the driver's side wheel well exposed. This frame rail, you can see that's where it's gonna be mounted to, as well as this fog light's gonna need to be zip tied out of the way. We have tools you're gonna need here. It's the 26 millimeter wrench, 5 millimeter Allen, a 10 mil wrench. I'm sorry. A pick tool. I have a 5 mil on a electric ratchet with an extension, but so this is the top mounting portion. It's gonna grab onto the frame rail. This is the bottom mounted frame rail. Here are the two coolant block off portions. They just stick in there and the clip inserts into that space and it locks it in. This is the braided steel line with the and fittings on the end. Note the degrees. You got a 90 degree and a 45 degree bend. That'll come into play when we install it. I do have coolant to top off any coolant, as well as some automatic transmission fluid. So yeah, this is what comes in the box. Alright, driver's side. Here you go. This is the frame rail. It's going to be mounted to the top and the bottom of the frame rail. As mentioned, that's the bottom portion. Here's the top. So slide it onto the frame rail and slide it as far forward as possible. To make it easier, we installed it onto the actual cooler prior to setting it on the frame rail. So use the provided hardware and just lock it in there. Then we're going to tighten it down to about 15 foot-pounds or so, not that much. Just inserted it, pushed it forward. Just go ahead and tighten those up as well. It's about 15 foot-pounds. This is a pretty simple install with really great results. So I'm lining it up. It should go roughly on that tab portion, but I'm going to do the same thing and back the nut, the 10 mil nut, and tighten the 5 mil. Once that's tight, I can know exactly where to place this pressure plate on the frame rail, which is slightly rear of that tab, but the tab's a good portion. All right, go ahead and tighten it up. Again, about 15 foot-pounds. I judge that based upon my electric ratchet. It stops supposedly at 15 foot-pounds. So, all right, both of those are nice and tight, and the cooler's mounted at this point. Just checking it for stability, and it's pretty solid. All right, boom. So that's what it looks like. Looks pretty good. The 90-degree fitting is going to go on the top. The 45-degree fitting is going to go on the bottom. So this did not come this way. I just did it as an extra precautionary. I wrapped the threads in Teflon tape. Since there's fluid going through it. Just hand tighten them to prevent cross threading. And then you're going to use your 26mm wrench and or your adjustable crescent wrench. I use the adjustable crescent wrench here. So just tightening these pretty tight, as you can see. He's putting a good amount of pressure on it. So I say we tighten these to about 30 foot-pounds or so. If you did notice that the line was rotating, so just be careful in case it ends up in orientation that you do not desire. Alright, anyways, as you can see, the 90-degree is synced in. It's torqued down. 45 degrees torqued down. There's still that fog lamp that's going to need to be addressed, but that will be secured with some zip ties later on. Alright, so here's the fittings that you're actually going to insert the braided lines into, and then that's one of the coolant ports. Okay, so there's 2 coolant ports and 2 ports for the actual transmission fluid. You can use a pick as you would on any hose here. Here I'll demonstrate just on the upper radiator hose. You're just going to insert it into the portion of the clip, pull it open, and slide off the hose. Have a drip pan ready. Pop the clip, and it took a little bit of, popped it off. As you can see, it slid in the billet, and I closed it, and that was it. There's no more leaks. Excellent. It's that easy. Alright, so now I personally routed my lines up and over my charge pipe. Okay, so yeah, that's the coolant fitting. It's blocked off, it seals great. And that clip, just make sure it's fully inserted for that clip can grab that little slot. So the 90 degree is going to go to the top fitting, and the 45-degree line is going to go to the bottom fitting. And of course, we have our little mechanic on duty sleeping. Yeah, she's not getting paid for this. I told her she can't take naps anymore. Hey, wake up, you. Wake up. Alright, that's it. It's coming out of your check. Anyways, I digress. So, to remove these fittings, you have to push it forward over this locking bar you can see. That's kind of shaped like a nipple. You have to push it over there. I'll demonstrate once the cooler is out. So both lines are in. Now the only thing holding this in at this point is that last coolant line, which is kind of finicky and damn near impossible to show on camera. As you can see, it's routed down and it's in that 90 degree. So you just got to go underneath the car. As you can see, I'm picking the clip, open the clip, and just work it off. Some coolant will come out. That's why we have our drip tray. Don't worry about it. You're going to top anything off that came out. And once that's blocked off, the entire cooler will come off. Alright, so this is the transmission lines that I'm showing. This is that nipple that I was telling you about. So to remove it, you have to push the line forward to depress the clips, allowing it to slide off. Okay, so you're going to push down, and then depress. So if it's not past that nipple, it's gonna remain locked. That's one, that's two coolant ports. So we have one coolant port. That's the top one. That's a little bit of harder one to get. And that's our first one from underneath. So make sure you go ahead and zip tie these out of the way. All right, so this is kind of what I'm talking about with these lines. They're nice and secure. I can see here. All right, so just one more time to remove it. Those pins are obviously tight. Now with it pushed forward, you can remove it. With it not, you can't depress it, as you can see with my finger here. Now I'm able to depress it. With the line slid forward, you cannot. All right, once your AC fan's back in, make sure you really check for any rubbing, specifically on that vibration damper. Just a quick look. Freed up a lot of room, especially with my charge pipe. I have a 3.5-inch charge pipe, so a little bit bigger. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Looks great. It performs great. The shifts are so much smoother. Enjoy, like, subscribe, and thanks for tuning in to Speed Theory Performance.